Mod queen, mod boss, hold the line. Alexandra, G, power redefined. Melissa, one love, kindness in the storm. J, Rizzle strikes, crypto artist born. Duality, see, not of this world. Alien truths in the waves unfurled. Jesus saves, blessings light the path. Heart throws the horns, thunder in the blast. Maybe a band-aid, rhythm breaks the cage. All set, grinding, ain't the charge with rage. Kelly the caliphate stomps through the hate. Together we rise, together we shake. We wave riders, we ride or we fall. Wave riders, united we come through fire. The shadows will always remain. Ride on the wave, let it carry our name. In midnight echoes neon in the sky. Future in our veins, we were born to defy. Silent in the build, then the break comes loud. Wave riders forever, we stand unbowed. Legends on the crest never fade away. Crypto tide rising, we seize the day. Deep in the current, we bend but don't break. Together we rise, together we quake. We wave riders, we ride or we fall. Wave riders, united we come through fire. The shadows will always remain. Ride on the wave, let it carry our name. We wave riders, wave ride or we fall. Wave riders, united we come through fire. The shadows will always remain. Ride on the wave, let it carry our name. Wave riders, our names in the tide, forever alive. Wave riders. Wave riders, we ride, we fall. We ride, we fall. We riders, we riders, alive. Forever alive.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Lunar Beaches Crypto, where we ride the waves of the crypto market all the way to the moon. How's it going? How you been? How's your mom and them? Thank you for joining me this evening. It is Sunday, September 21st, 2025 at 9:04 p.m. Central Standard Time. We've got a little bit of a pullback going on in the markets. How low can it go? It can go pretty low. It can go lower than you ever expected it to go. But who knows? Maybe it's just a little bitty pullback into a fair value gap. We'll see. We'll go over all the macro analysis. You know how we do every Sunday. Going over the DXY, the Ethereum, the Bitcoins, all the Bitcoin stuff, the Bitcoin dominance, USDT dominance, the totals, our stock indices, all of it, all of the charts. But before we get into all of that, if you wouldn't mind smashing that like button, man, looking kind of sweaty. If you wouldn't mind going ahead, smashing that like button, hitting that subscribe if you are new. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? Let's say good evening to the chat. What's going on? Alexandra G, Mod Boss, Mod Queen, Mod God. Thank you, Alexandra G, for pinning that Discord link in the chat. Don't forget to join the Discord today. Maybe I'll start posting more in there this week. Who knows? We'll see. Been getting a lot of rest. Good evening, Alexandra G. Man, this really is. Look at this tan line. I shared a picture in the Discord. I said I got a new tan, sunburn. It's called the Donald, and it's basically where, you can just see where you get the whole paint job done. Just some bronzer. I went to Memphis, Arkansas game yesterday. Memphis, my Tigers upset the Arkansas Razorbacks, and got a nice little burn while I was there. Feel the burn. What's going on? All set. Thank you for being here. Good evening. Miss ya. Hope you and the family had a peaceful Sunday. We had a good Sunday. Really good Sunday. My dad and stepmom came over, saw the baby and the boys in general. So, and just chilled and watched some football. Watched my Titans get beat again. They're 0-3 now, so that is awesome. At least the Tigers are doing well. At least we got that upset yesterday. Kind of makes up for the Titans continuing to suck. But it is what it is. What's going on, Harp? How you doing? Your Eagles had a nice little comeback victory today. Very nice. Very nice. It was a good watch. I enjoyed watching that game much more than I enjoyed watching the Titans. That's for sure. What's going on, Harp? Hope you're doing well. Throwing the metal horns in the chat as always. All set. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Kelly, what's going on, Kelly? Good evening, good evening, good evening. Jesus Saves, hey. Jesus Saves made it to one. How you doing, Jesus Saves? Thank you for being here. Melissa, One Love. LBCOG, what's going on, Mel? Hope you're doing well. We've got J. Ara, the J. Rizzler. What's going on, JR? Hope you're doing well, my guy. I know you be killing them trades, man. He's like how I was when I first got into trading. It's just charts all the time. I don't have time for it, as I don't have near as much time as I used to. But yeah, why do I still have the headphones on? It's not like I have music playing. Anyways, is Stroud gonna light us up next week in Houston? Maybe. CJ Stroud, we'll see. And speaking of that, Retro Mike Tech, what's going on, bro? RMT in the house. Hope you're doing well. All right. Let's go over to the Bitcoin chart. We've sitting at about $114,510 on the Bitcoin price. We are at a $2.28 trillion market cap. We did put in a higher high here. Was this more of a... No, that was a higher high. Okay. Anyway, $2.28 trillion on the market cap. This is zoomed out. Full 4.236 extension of the last bull market high to the bear market low, 2023 low. 4.236 extension gets us to about a $4.55 trillion market cap. Will it do a full 4.236 extension? Well, if I knew the answer to that, I would probably be a billionaire. So there you go. Ain't no billionaire streaming. Anyways. So yeah, Bitcoin price is looking decent. Let's see, weekly close. Now we did get a nice doji in here, or shooting star. I don't really know the names of these candlestick patterns. All I know is that this is not necessarily bullish. However, we do have a fair value gap here. We created a fair value gap here on the weekly, and we have come down. We swept the previous week low already. We might want to do it tomorrow as well, so we want to be careful with that, because a Sunday night move is not always going to be the one that you need to watch. It's usually a move that you will see after market open, rather, at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it's typically when you want to see it, but that doesn't mean that, hey, we already got it, so maybe it can continue. But the way these candlesticks look to me, man, it doesn't really look all that bullish, if I'm quite honest. If I'm being honest with you. Let's go down to the daily. Actually, the 4 hour, because this is, yeah, so this little push up here, that's what's marked off. That's the supply that we ran into and we rejected from, coming back down into that weekly fair value gap. So now we want to see if we can get a reversal here on the shorter time frames, on the smaller time frames, that is. Right now, I don't really care for this. I would have preferred if this did a nice little wick down, taking out that low right here, and then getting a push up and taking out that high. If I get something like that, then that's almost always, okay, a reversal, at least short term. But we did leave behind some equal highs up here that I have marked off. So that, I do like that, because that typically means that we will come back up here at some point. So I don't think this is the last time we will see of $118,000. But right now, I want to get out of this weekly fair value gap, because if we can't get out of the weekly fair value gap, then I will be looking for price to come down, take these lows, and come down into this 4 hour order block. So if we can get that, or if we lose this level here, that's what I would expect. I would expect for price to come down to about the 109,200 level. And then from there, I would want to see a nice bounce. If it doesn't get a bounce off of that level, well, then we are potentially looking at this being an ABC, where we come back down and take these lows and come down into this order block right over here. So there you go. Lose that weekly fair value gap, and I think this becomes much more likely, because you come down here, you sweep these lows, especially if we don't get a bounce off of this order block right here. If we don't bounce like that, then, and it's just kind of just meandering along, maybe even consolidating at the lows, typically you're going to come down. Okay, so right now, though, I mean, I wouldn't mind that. It's kind of crazy, though. Kind of crazy. 25-point rate cut may not be enough. May not be enough. I don't even know what kind of data we got coming on this week. Let's take a look. R Pink, what's going on? Good evening. R Pinkerton. All right, so we've got Powell. We got a Powell speech. We have nothing Monday, a Powell speech Tuesday. Then we have durable goods orders month over month, GDP growth rate quarter over quarter final, and existing home sales on Thursday. Then Friday we have core PCE price index month over month, personal income month over month, personal spending month over month. So we are definitely looking for the job market, the labor market, to continue to soften. So if we do get anything that signals that, then we can expect further, I think we could expect further rate cuts. They're still saying, you know, they're data dependent, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Oh, I forget if that's a weird chick or a weird dude. All I know is I like R Pink. Okay. All right, JR. I got you, man. So yeah, not incredibly bullish at the moment. If we can start taking out these upward supply levels, then yeah, I'd be a little bit more bullish. But right now, it's just kind of like, it just still feels kind of weak to me. It's not exactly the most explosive price action. No big daily candles like we got back here and here. It's all just chop. So it's just spells weakness to me at the moment. So on the daily, we do have the VWAP on the not market cipher below the 0 line. Momentum is coming down, but it is above the 0 line. But that RSI is below the 50, and so are, well, the stochastics are also pushing to the downside. So everything kind of little sell signal too. Everything is kind of saying it's saying red money flow as well. Kind of saying weakness and more downside. Let's go take a look at the DXY, see if we can kind of get some inverse correlation confluence. Yes, maybe. We'll see. All right, so there we go. All right, so we got a sweep of this low over here and a bounce here on the DXY. So the DXY is actually looking at least short-term bullish at the moment. Do have an inverse fair value gap here, inverted fair value gap, whatever, however you want to call it. That's looking pretty juicy. So yeah, look for the DXY to come up and take out 98.83, get into that fair value gap. Then we will want to see, typically we would want to see a rejection, but you know, I've gone over it before how the DXY and Bitcoin can run at the same time. They're not necessarily always, you know, they're not 100% inverse correlated. So just because DXY's going up doesn't mean Bitcoin's going down. Just because the DXY's going down doesn't mean Bitcoin's going up. They can both do the same thing at the same time. And one of them typically tends to end its trend before the other one. Meaning DXY can be going up with Bitcoin, Bitcoin going up with DXY, and then DXY can start to do this and correct while Bitcoin decides to continue higher. So they'll go on a run together, but then you'll see one of them start to roll over while the other one continues higher. So right now I will just be looking for you know, a range play in here. Let's go high to low. We'll want to see it come up to, whoop, lock your fibs. I just started singing Baby Shark, and I haven't even heard it yet. So that's cool. I mean, that more than took out the measured move on that. But if I go, I take this part, last high, still doesn't get that low. From the breakout, definitely didn't get that low. So yeah, I don't know about this. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. I don't really care for that at the moment. So yeah, we do have the 786 sitting right here in that inverted fair value gap. So I would expect the DXY to continue to push higher. So at least in the short term, that could mean more downside for Bitcoin and crypto. And with Bitcoin looking kind of weak, we also have Ethereum looking relatively weak. It tried to break out. It failed. I mean, it broke out. Now we'll see if it's just going to get some weird back test. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I'm more keen to do something like this and see the fact that it did not hold. Right? There you go. Kind of prefer that actually. Actually, actually, well, actually, okay, so we do have this little bit of a demand zone here before this big push up here. Cool. That's what I wanted to do. Hello? Okay, making sure I still had sound. Duality C, what's going on, Duality C? Hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you for being here. We'll get to the Russell. We go over the Russell all the time. Ooh, futures. We'll get to those too. Thank you, Alexander G, for sharing my Twitter link handle in the chat. Follow me on X/Twitter, whatever you call it, at Lunar Beaches. Actually, I kind of like this as an order block. Would that be the midpoint of the order block? Let's take a look. No, does not quite get there. Negative. Kind of like that. But Ethereum does look like it might be breaking down. So that is not good for the ETH boys out there. ETH fans. Let's see what our well, let's get rid of that. I don't want that. I want this. There we go. All right, so we're coming down to the point of control of this whole range here from this low to current price, coming down to a point of control. You can see we have this nice little cupping here indicating, you know, buyers stepping in and pushing that price up and buying. That's what you would typically think. But then we come up into supply and then sell off. So it's not really what you want to see. You lose that point of control. Yeah, you lose that point of control. You're going to come down more likely than not to the value area low. And I think I just figured out why so many people are calling for 38.50. The value area low sits at about 38.11, 38.11, at least per the Coinbase spot chart. Sometimes, I mean, that could get front run. You also have this high over here, so just generally that's where people are going to look to potentially long from, and that's sitting at about 39.35. So if Ethereum can get down there, get a sweep of these lows and get a bounce, then it should be good. I would like for it to just bounce for here at the point of control, but we'll see. I see some imbalances in here on the fixed range volume profile, so it might want to come for those and fill those imbalances. But right now, I would just say I'm generally bearish. Generally bearish. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Yeah, it's not looking good. Let's go down to the 4, actually. We're coming down to that point of control now. Ruh-roh. Yeah, so on this, I will just look for potential pullback and then continuation. Pull back to about 4,400 and then continuation. Do have a fair value gap right there as well. So, yep. Doesn't look the strongest to me. So, I need to see some impulsive price action, as I've been saying. Bitcoin dominance flying to the upside. My goodness. That is not a good sign for the alts. We do have a whole bunch of highs that it might want to come and take out. A whole bunch of highs. Man, Bitcoin dominance is flying off the handles. Bingo and a bango. What's going on? T.I. Joe, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Trade Intuition in the house. Make sure you guys go over and check out Tradester Joe. What's going on? Make sure you go over to his channel, check him out. He does some great work over there. Just breaking down the charts, breaking down furus, fake gurus, that is. And generally keeps his people, his goal is to keep you safe. So I always have to send people over to other content creators that try their best to keep their people safe. Don't just like shield coins to them and all that, and courses and whatnot. But anywho, all right. So yeah, Bitcoin dominance is getting a nice little push here. That does not bode well for the altcoins. Speaking of altcoins, let's go over to the total 2. Oh yeah, look at that. So we got the breakout of the symmetrical triangle and a back test, and we're back testing again. It's not really what I wanted to see here. What is going on? Kind of like that better. Oh, it's perfect. All right, so that's going to be the level that I want to watch. This one right here. Let's see if it's point of control. It's right below it. Value area low. Swing. Swing. Yeah, I mean, we do have a couple of volume nodes over here. Let's take in all of that. Okay. Let's just go ahead and place that there. Golly. Oh, my nose is sunburnt too, so it really hurts to rub my nose. I haven't showed Gary to the TI community in a hot minute. It's over too. Good morning, Crypto Rob from Vietnam. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Jay Violet in the house. What's going on? Hope you are doing well. So yeah, this does not look well. This does not look good for altcoins. Let's go ahead and take a look at the altcoins real quick. Let's see. We're at the 9:30 mark, so we are halfway through. So it would be a good time to just go ahead and just do a brief look at the altcoin market right now. Is there anything that's just getting decimated? Or is it just the whole kit and caboodle? It's just everything. Everything but Venom, which is barely even doing anything. And UX Link. Okay. Don't know what that is. User experience link? I don't know. The Russell 2000. We got the breakout finally of the channel. And we got a pullback. This started Friday, Sunday. We're coming back. We're still closing candles above the upwards resistance, trying to turn that into support and then hopefully get some follow through in here. If the Russell can get some follow through, then that would bode well for our altcoins and Bitcoin as well. as the Russell is 2,000 low market cap stocks. Therefore, if this is moving to the upside, then that shows a little market participants are willing to take on a little bit more risk, which I would expect some risk taking to increase given the 25-point rate cut. However, yields 10-year is moving to the upside. And honestly, I don't know when it's not gonna. Because it actually likes to act like a a typical price chart. So, meaning this kind of looks like a reversal and a push to the upside. We are leaving some imbalances behind, which does bode well for the future, but short term, not good. Not good. For some reason, people do not want to hold on to dollars for 10 years. They do not like it. They want a higher return. They want higher percentage. 4.145% is not enough. Let's take a look at gold. Gold is continuing to crush it, already exceeding this. Let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Gold is just on an absolute tear, as expected, given the economic conditions. It is what it is. It be what it be, and it do what it do. I'm doing great. Now, how about you? Remember, guys, another thing on this channel is financial advice. Phew, we are dumping. Yeah, we are. Soul dumping. Is it? John Foster Crypto, what's going on? 901 in the house. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Soul Train dumping. I mean, everything's kind of dumping right now. Taking a nice big fat steaming pile of dump. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Butterbean? Woo, look at that. I mean, you got the nice breakout of the triangle. Getting a back test is not out of the ordinary. ABC, back test. This one actually, if it can get a bounce here, then it looks better than a lot of the charts we've been looking at so far. So, showing a bit more strength, just a little bit of a pullback. And hopefully that'll be the case across the board. But it's not looking too good at the moment. The NASDAQ actually doesn't look too bad. Let's go over to the 15. Absolutely no gap. Excuse me. Dump it all to zero. Why do you want zero? I know, you're memeing. You think you're so funny. Meanwhile, people's bags are going to zero. Everybody's losing dozens of dollars. Why is it only dozens? Probably because most cryptocurrencies haven't done jack squat. Roll over, get a bounce. I like that. So yeah, the NASDAQ's currently sitting at 24,848 points. And yeah, this 15-minute does look like it's kind of wanting to round off here and do exactly something like this. Sweep the equal lows in here, coming down into this triangle, which would be a nice area of demand to bounce from. So that's what I'll be looking for on the NASDAQ. Let's go over to the S&P 500. It's probably going to be a little bit of the same story. Not quite. You want to see this high right here hold up. But the NASDAQ moving down means that this might not move down. Of course, they could do SMT divergence where the NASDAQ does put in a lower low, but the S&P 500 puts in a higher low, giving the two highly correlated assets a divergence in their price action, which can lead to reversals. So we shall see if that is what we get on those. But right now, this could just be a swing failure pattern. You break above the high, you come back up, and then you reject. I am kind of bearish. I don't like what I'm seeing right now. Kind of sucks. Well, what happened was on Thursday night, I was thinking, man, I was pretty bullish. But then Friday, we didn't get any strong continuation. We didn't get any crazy breakouts across the board. Everything just kind of stayed a little bit stagnant. Nothing really started moving. And then we're starting off the week looking weak. Definitely not looking strong. Not yet. We need the follow through. Maybe it'll start with the indices and then shift over into Bitcoin and crypto. We'll see. But you know me, I don't typically or generally trade on Mondays. I usually let Mondays play out and then go from there. I like that. Nice little breakout back test. Come up, sweep the high, come right back down. Trust the system. 4 longs, 4 shorts. I'd be smiling right now. F in Asia? Wait, why? Trash Panda? Asia data just came out. I guess it's not great, maybe? What Asia data? I see no Asia data. China? Forecast expected. I mean, they hit their 1-year loan prime rate. Five-year loan prime rate. These numbers have been the same for the past several months. I doubt that this had anything to do with price action. Highly doubt it. This is trying to push to the upside here on the S&P 500. Of course, it's already come down. It's swept this low. Where's Friday's low? Oh, this is the 5th. Wow. So this was Friday's low? Whoops. Spaceman. Here we go. Previous week low all the way down here. Are those equal lows? Kind of. So right now we got the previous daily low here. Sweep of the highs. Internal range liquidity. Yeah. I don't really like it unless it can get a nice big push out of here. I don't like it. It looks pretty weak. Everything looks pretty weak. USDT dominance pushing to the upside hardcore, just like the Bitcoin dominance. So there you go. Did not get this move. Instead, it continued to push on Friday, pull back over the weekend, and has started to push up ever since Asia opened. So not what we want to see, but this just helps us know we're bearish right now. We are bearish. Crazy, just like that, you know. And, you know, I've been saying for quite some time that I think that the rate cuts, you know, were going to be the end of the cycle, the beginning of the end of the cycle. Now, I don't think we're at. I don't think it is over yet, but I do think that we are definitely getting towards the ending phase here. So. Of course, they always want to try and trip up as many traders as absolutely possible. So they've got to send it up and down, okay? They've got to do that in order to trap traders so that they can trap liquidity that they can then come back for later on. They being the market makers. Bears eating bulls from Monday open. Yeah, they are. Yep, that they are. Wow, look at that. Look at that move. Total 2. Nice dump. Yep, getting a sweep of the previous week low. It doesn't look good. Total 3. Not looking good either. I imagine it'll want to take out all of these lows in here. See if there's any breaking news. Reset it. Crypto. Crypto.com says report of undisclosed user data leak unfounded. Okay. Toyota, Yamaha, BYD accept Tether in Bolivia as USD reserves shrink. Okay. Crypto market prediction. Bitcoin stalls on rate cut as hopes fade. Will this week be different? The funding DATs have raised 3 hours ago. Here's what happened in crypto today. Nothing. Ripple CTO drops bombshell. XRP at the core of trillions in banking feature. Interesting. XRP needs to defend 298 support to avoid deeper corrections. Sitting at 288 right now, I believe. 289. Yep. Yeah, I don't know that there's any news. It's just Sunday, you know. Is it a day that ends in Y? Well, then it's likely that we're getting some kind of pullback. LOL facts. What a concept. 4 and 4 back to it as soon as I close these. Bears. Yep. Not really. All right, let's go and. Whoops. Barbecue sauce. Rejecting VWAP. Okay, so we did get that wick I was talking about that I wanted to see. But I forgot to see price come up and take out this high before I would count that as an order block. If it doesn't come up close above the high, then that is not an order block for me. We need to start minting pennies again. Yes. I'm sure that'll definitely help things with our finances. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything. Just more downside. Down, down, down. And a ring of fire. And a ring of fire. Equal lows, so you had to know it was going to come and take them out, right? Relatively equal. Close enough. Close enough for government work. Yeah. Yeah, not much really going on, guys. I think that's going to be it for this one. I'm just kind of chilling. Soon Titans ticket will only cost a penny. The stadium was so empty today, it was embarrassing. Wow. I heard a bunch of Colts fans, I know that much. Sounded like it was a home game for them, kind of, sometimes, you know what I mean? Of course, that's often the case when it comes to the Titans home games. Especially if they're, national favorite. One of the, top favorites. Like if you get like a Pittsburgh, if Titans play Pittsburgh at home, it's almost always just at least half Pittsburgh fans. It's kind of ridiculous. It's like a home game for them. It's quite annoying. You know what else is annoying? Our offensive line. Man, does our offensive line need some help. It's terrible. Previous quarter high, so do have this inverse head and shoulders that it did end up playing out. Now I want to see, will it come down and back test that neckline? Typically, that is what you get. So, I mean, at the very least, a short-term downside before continued upside. At the very least, a little bit more downside before we can continue upside. Lose these levels, and it's not looking good. How'd that AVAX short play out for you, JR? I imagine if you held on to it, it played out pretty well. This is when we were looking at it. I said, value area high. You said you were short. Looks like it playing out pretty well. It's going to come back down to the high here, or this high here, at about $30.94. Get a bounce. Problem is, this doesn't really look like a kind of deal. Looks more like an ABC kind of deal, because you do have these equal lows in here. So I'd be careful if we do get some kind of bounce overnight. Wake up tomorrow and you're seeing it push to the upside. Anything you see it pushing to the upside, I would just be careful, be mindful. Go ahead, throw you a fib from the high to the low that came in overnight, and just look for a reaction off of the golden pocket or the 786, particularly here on AVAX, and then look for the rollover from there, coming back to this previous range that it left from to do a nice little back test that it broke out of. Okay, back test, and then it can, I see a lot of the stuff that we have been going over tonight does kind of look like it is just coming back down. It's just doing a back test after a breakout. So that is one good sign, is that if it's broken out of a consolidation range and it's a nice big breakout, then I wouldn't fret any kind of pullback like this. I mean, because it's more likely than not, that's all that it is. Golly. My nose is itching because it's a sunburn, and sunburns itch. The Doge, kind of the same deal here. The only problem is we do have a little bit of a swing failure pattern. So, and this is actually more of what I was just talking about looking for on AVAX. Get that downwards move, pull back down, coming back into these highs. We'll see if the Dodge coin can start rolling back to the upside here shortly. If not, look for it to come down and tag these lows, especially since you've got these two lows, pretty much equal lows in here. So might want to come back down into this consolidation range over here at about 17, 18 cents. No, 17 and a half cents. We got the quarterly open there at about 16.6. That might want to get tagged, but we'll see. We'll see how this price action plays out up here. But right now, sitting on the hands. Let Monday play out and see what they give us. We'll see what they give us. See if they give us any free looks. See if they give us any entries. Because I've already missed this entry, so. See if we can't catch some continuation trades or catch some bounces. One of the two. I mean, look at this is what Doge has been doing. Let's just break a high, pull back. Break a high, pull back. See if it'll continue again, but time to go parabolic, Doge. Yep, so be cautious today for the rest of the day. Not much going on, really. Just getting some pullbacks at the moment. That could potentially lead to more downside if we don't get some bounces and some follow through across the board. But especially on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's got to continue to push to the upside. Otherwise, we're not going to have a good time. It's just going to be more pullback. And the odds of a 2026 blow off top increase more and more as each day goes by, that we are not yet blowing off the tops. I don't know what is waiting for. Maybe some kind of recession check, stimulus. I don't know, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Want to see what Monday does, that I kind of give a better gauge on how the week's going to play out. But right now, I would just be careful with any kind of swing midterm longs. I would just kind of just be patient with price, see what it wants to do, see if it wants to start a new trend or if this is just a pullback. We'll know if we do get some bounces that create fresh highs and aren't just retraces. They need to create fresh local highs, and then we can start looking for the longs again. But right now, sit on the hands, be patient, let the trades come to you. And if you see something that you like, you could take it. Just use the stop loss. Keep it tight, especially on longs right now. Just keep the stop loss tight, and then live to trade another day. But yeah, I hope you all had an amazing weekend. It was a nice, chill weekend at the house outside of going to the game yesterday for me. But yeah, good weekend. Ready to go get some sleep and get recharged for tomorrow. So thank you all for joining me. I do appreciate each and every single last one of you, amazing, beautiful people, the wave riders. And yeah, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to join the Discord. Link is pinned in the description. Hit that like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that notification bell to hit that notification bell to be notified when I create new content or go live. Thank you for joining me. I do hope you all have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, radical sleep. Sleep like baby. And I will catch you all tomorrow. Mad love. Peace out. God bless. Good night. Bye.
We've been knocked down, dragged through the tide. Every fall just fuels the fight inside. When the current